how J.K. Rowling imagined the Harry Potter characters versus how they were portrayed in the movies. J.K. Rowling brought us the world of Harry Potter and endowed it with an impressive number of secrets. Some she only revealed after the last book had been written. Some were found by fans, and some weren't hidden at all. For example, despite the fact that the movies are iconic to so many people, some characters don't match their descriptions from the books. Did you know that when the first book was written, Professor Snape was just over 30? Watch our video for more fascinating details. Number 1. Harry Potter. The casting for the main character of the Harry Potter books took quite some time. Everyone wanted to find the perfect Harry, and they did. Daniel Radcliffe did an amazing job at bringing the character to life and making him truly authentic. However, some of the important aspects of Harry's appearance from the books weren't reflected in the film. For example, according to the books, the boy who lived has his mother's green eyes and the wild hair that refuses to be styled, just like his father's. And even though Radcliffe has blue eyes and not so messy hair, his portrayal of Harry is still flawless. Number 2. Hermione Granger. Hermione Granger is an important part of the Golden Trio and the brightest witch of her age. As Ron once said to Harry, we wouldn't last 2 days without her. And that couldn't be truer. Emma Watson did a wonderful job portraying different sides of Hermione, but what about her appearance? Let's see. J.K. Rowling once said that Hermione is slightly like her own 11-year-old self-portrait. The author chose a thick bush of chestnut hair and large front teeth, which she reduced in Goblet of Fire, though, when Malfoy's spell ricocheted into Hermione, to be this little sweetheart's distinguishing features. Nevertheless, Emma Watson had this thick bush only in the first movie. Plus, she has nice teeth from the very beginning. Other than that, Emma Watson, without a doubt, makes a true Hermione. Number 3. Ron Weasley. Harry's best friend and the King, Ron Weasley is one of the most fun and interesting characters in the Harry Potter world. We all remember his little jokes and comments, as well as his typical Weasley appearance. But was it reflected in the film properly? Well, to be honest, Ron wasn't spared either. In the books, he has a long nose and freckles that are nowhere to be found on Rupert Grint. Well, at least they got the hair right. Of course, Rupert played Ron perfectly, but why not add a few missing elements, right? Number 4. Severus Snape. Misunderstood and lonely Severus Snape continues to be one of the most complicated and ambiguous characters in the film series. Plus, you can't deny that the amazing Alan Rickman was an exceptional actor and a great Severus Snape. The way he was able to make pretty much everyone dislike his character for almost the entire story and then turn everything around in just one scene is just astonishing. But let's try to remember Severus's description in the book. Greasy black hair and a hooked nose. Seems like everything is perfect, but we should not forget that he was supposed to be just a little older than 30 at the beginning of the first book. To our dismay, the whole franchise suffers from age overstatement, and there is nothing we can do about it. Number 5. Albus Dumbledore. The wisest headmaster of Hogwarts, Professor Albus Dumbledore, was played by 2 different people in the film series. Richard Harris played the role of Dumbledore in the first 2 movies, but, unfortunately, he didn't live to star in the next movies and was replaced by Michael Gambon. If you compare his film appearances to the original one, it seems like Richard Harris looked a bit more like the book's Dumbledore, who had blue eyes and wore half glasses. At the same time, none of the actors had Dumbledore's very long and crooked nose. Still, both of the actors played Dumbledore authentically, except for that famous, calm Goblet of Fire scene, right? Still amazing though. Number 6. Alastor Moody. Alastor Moody's character was the true mystery of Goblet of Fire, and it was perfectly reflected in the film as well. Brendan Gleeson made it all look very believable and cool, but was every bit of Alastor Moody's image portrayed correctly? When Mad Eye appears in the book, he is described as a man with a badly disfigured face and tip of the nose. In the movie, however, he looks just fine, apart from the famous Mad Eye and several lines on his face. Is a movie actor's job as dangerous as that of the original character? One way or another, Gleeson's acting makes up for it, making Moody truly strange and a bit terrifying. Number 7. Viktor Krum. Viktor Krum is an excellent Quidditch player who later becomes a love interest of Hermione. He is an introvert and a reserved and polite person. In the movies, he was played by Bulgarian actor Stanislav Ianevski, but is his appearance in the film similar to the Krum's one in the book? Well, according to J.K. Rowling's vision, Viktor Krum was tall, slim, and had a hooked nose. He also had thick eyebrows and dark hair and looked awkward on the ground. Some of these details made it to the film, but most of them, unfortunately, didn't. Still, it hasn't changed the general image of Krum at all. He is still the same person he was intended to be in the books. Number 8. Petunia Dursley. Petunia Dursley is Harry's aunt who later becomes his guardian. She's played perfectly in the film series by Fiona Shaw, but some of the original Petunia's features were lost in the movies. In the books, Mrs. Dursley is described as having a long neck that granted her the ability to spy on her neighbors, which she just loved to do. Moreover, she has blonde hair, which her son Dudley inherited. None of this is in the movies. In fact, both Mrs. Dursley and Dudley are brunettes. It's not that big of a deal, but it still would be interesting to see the blonde Dursley, right? Number 9. Minerva McGonagall. A strict but fair head of Gryffindor, Minerva McGonagall was highly respected by all of her students. Flawlessly played by charismatic and talented Maggie Smith, she became one of the most loved characters for many Potterheads. So, was McGonagall's image portrayed correctly in the film series? In the books, Minerva is described to be a tall, black-haired, and kind of a severe-looking woman who, according to Harry's first impression, is not someone to cross. It was all reflected in the film apart from the character's age. See, the Professor of Transfiguration was 56 years old when Harry first came to Hogwarts, so the book character is actually way younger. Number 10. Dolores Umbridge. Dolores Umbridge is probably the most hated character after Lord Voldemort himself. And that's saying something, right? The character was brilliantly portrayed by Imelda Staunton, who showed the true colors of Dolores' personality perfectly. There was just one thing wrong. She is way too pretty for Umbridge's original image. In the books, Dolores Umbridge looks just as unpleasant on the outside as she truly is inside. She certainly has some resemblance to a frog thanks to her round, bulging eyes, large mouth, and pale, loose skin. And, of course, the finishing stroke, a small black bow resembling a fly in her short, mouse-colored hair. Number 11. Rufus Scrimgeour. Rufus Scrimgeour becomes the Minister of Magic in The Half-Blood Prince. He is a man of the action according to Dumbledore, but he is also quite impulsive, which leads him to make not-so-great decisions most of the time. In the book, Rufus resembled an old lion because of his mane of graying ginger hair and his style of clothing. He wore wire-rimmed glasses and limped. So, Bill Nighy, who played Scrimgeour, looked a lot like his character in the book. Just the glasses and the hair color are missing. Despite his disagreements with Harry, Scrimgeour did resemble a lion, the symbol of Gryffindor. He's got all the courage in the world, which was proved once again when he refused to reveal Harry's whereabouts even under torture. Number 12. Bill Weasley. Bill is the first child of Arthur and Molly Weasley. He works for Gringotts and is married to Fleur Delacour. Bill is quite cool, fun, brave, and laid back. When we first meet him in the books, he is described to be tall, thin, and handsome. He looks like a rock star and usually wears his hair in a ponytail. However, his appearance changes in The Half-Blood Prince. As a result of his fight with the werewolf Fenrir Greyback, he received huge scars, which grotesquely disfigured his face, although Fleur Delacour didn't love him less because of it. In the movie, however, we can see just some mere scratches, but nothing even remotely close to the book's description. But other than that, Movie Bill is just as awesome. Number 13. Narcissa Malfoy. Narcissa Malfoy is Draco's mother and Bellatrix Lestrange's younger sister. She's an arrogant woman and a true believer in the importance of blood purity, just like the rest of the Malfoy family. In the books, aristocratic Narcissa Malfoy is tall and very pale. According to Harry, she looks like she's got dung under her nose. Above all, Narcissa has long white hair, which made her look like a drowned woman. This little detail was gone in the movies though. It's not clear why she was given two-toned hair, but we still have to admit that it looks quite cool. So, what's your favorite character from the Harry Potter world and why? Tell us in the comment section below. Don't forget to hit the like button and share this video with all of your friends. Join us on the bright side.